Yeah, hint of turn that is being extracted here by Pakistan. We've seen generally the turn has been just off the off stump. Nothing threatening the pads or the outside edge as yet. Very consistent spin. The bounce has been consistent as well.
Just now, last couple of overs, you just see the spin being slightly more consistent, like you say. Mohammad Nawaz extracting the most degree of spin. Just picked up. The slower through the air, the more turn we're getting. There were a few that have just bit slightly more into the surface and spun sharply. It was almost time me and Ramiz were going to go look for another job. That the pitch report. One opposition was going to spin the other one out of control. He's giving a wry smile after he finished his commentary stint because the ball is just starting to turn a lot more. Up in the air will fall in the vacant area. Once again, excellent running. 22 done, 138 for 1. Overs, 138 for South Africa. The one wicket that of Luandre Pretorius gave South Africa impetus up the order. Played his strokes, timed the ball well, and now once again another partnership for South Africa. 40 of 37 between Tony D'Souza and Quinton de Kock. Beautiful scenes here in Faisalabad. Change in momentum of the game as well. Naseem Shah back into the attack with the ball. Seamers up front, bowled 7 overs between them. The ball came on quite nicely in that first power play. Right then, a challenge that you can take part in. KFC Flip the Bucket Challenge. Land it on your head and get finger-licking good prizes. JP spoke to Matthew Gretzky at the toss in terms of assessing, obviously an unknown surface, a lot more alien to South Africa than Pakistan, but both will be fairly new and are fairly new to how this might play out. Asked him about how they would go on about assessing the surface. Now a very good platform lead here and the ball just starting to turn. How do you see them playing out with 9 wickets in hand?
I think it also it's determined by the strategy of the Pakistan seamers. Yes, a hint of turn, a little bit of stop in the surface. Do they utilize the change of pace from the seamers as well? They do have mid on and mid off up, so from a batter's perspective, they would feel that if they can line them up, they can take the aerial route. It's coming onto the bat quite nicely with the seam up option. So they want to stay aggressive, no doubt.
So far, South Africa have scored very quickly and have kept it smart. Similar to the Inverex Exio, Pakistan's smartest hatchback EV. Charge fast and drive smart.
So well rehearsed, Guruj. Even brought in your smart word as well.
Know the scripts down to the T. Now you talk about the change of pace as the first slow delivery. The off-cutter, Naseem Shah is bowled at 118 kilometers per hour. So far, the understanding of the surface from South Africa, they can rely on it and hit through the line of the ball because it hasn't had that invariable bounce so far. Likes playing square on the offside and even better with the pace on. Quinton de Kock, 62. Much needed runs for him as well into international colours. Only the 40-20I games after he's re-emerged into international format.
Yeah, it's a format that I mentioned particularly at the start of the innings, where an opportunity to really bat for long periods of time, gain some confidence in the white ball format. And it's a format that has found so much success, scoring a huge amount of hundreds in this format. And it's a good start in the second spell from Naseem Shah. SA 139 for 1.
सबसे पहले हमने सफर का आगाज किया, सफर था कार खैर का। अब एक बार फिर वही तजर्बा और वही एतबार जिससे होगी आपके दस्तरखान की लाजवाब हमदर्द रेसिपी मिक्सेस, the taste of heritage.
The timing has been really good. Touch game on point. More importantly, doesn't mind the sweep shots as well. And are we going to see another big one here by Quinton de Kock? The platform has been set. It seems to be moving really well, timing the ball nicely. 2 maximums thus far in his innings of 62 and just the 65 deliveries.
85 Ks that delivered to start and the turn that the pitch promised. A little bit more when the pace is slower, so more revs and a little bit of air in the ball. Now you mentioned Quinton de Kock's numbers at the ICC ODI World Cup in 2023. 59 the average, 594 runs. He was the third highest run scorer in that tournament. That was his last one-day international. Off memory, maybe 400s in that, just behind Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma on that list. Big shout, Haji trapped him in front, maybe just impact outside. Umpire unmoved. Don't think Pakistan are interested in this either.
From a spinner's perspective, there is a hint of turn, as we can see. But now is importantly, how do you match your field according to the deliveries you're going to be bowling? As we see consistently, there's been a ploy from outside the off stump. So what that suggests is the only mode of dismissal is really caught. And with a hint of turn, is there an opportunity to bring one more man across to the leg side, try and target the stumps, bring in bowl, bring in LBW as well as court, possibly a leading edge. You have to create some opportunities here. South Africa foundation really well set. It feels like things are happening. More importantly, as I said, matching the field accordingly. I think there's a great opportunity here for Pakistan to try and make an impact in the game.
Field remains the same. Good over. Just the 2 singles off this from Saim. I will remain the same. 24 done, 141 for 1.
Not a bad that debut by Leandro Pretorius, and what's been an absolute standout is his confidence at the crease, allowing the ball to come on beautifully. His balance has been exceptional, ability to play all around the ground, and certainly one for the future for South Africa. 57 of 60 balls.
Of firepower to come in next for South Africa. But at the moment, Pakistan looking a bit toothless. A bit toothless in this bowling lineup that they have. And why that is Pakistan, we spoke about this earlier, struggled to pick up wickets in the first 10 overs against South Africa. But coming to the middle overs, I'm talking about across the board in one-day international cricket, between overs 11 and 40, Pakistan bowlers this year in 11 ODI games have only picked up 1 wicket every 10 overs, which means between 11 and 40, Pakistan's average wicket-taking ability is 3 wickets only, which is 11th out of the 12 teams on that list, just ahead of Ireland. So numbers that Pakistan will need to look to work at. Comes back to the conversation in terms of who are the most likely to get you those wickets in that middle order. The conversation we can have a little while after, as we get 40 to 50, is that Pakistan's death ball run rate isn't great either. Right at the bottom of the list on that as well, Pakistan in terms of overs 40 to 50 in leaking runs. Out of the 11 ODIs this year in 2025, Pakistan have lost 9 of them. So numbers slightly on the alarming side. Nothing alarming about that. 100% confidence with dandruff-free hair. Hello, hair. JP Dumini next to me doesn't have to worry about that. On the other hand, Tizoy, the South African physio, Tony Dizozi, beautiful locks of hair. Bowled him! Chopped it on! Naseem Shah with the wicket that was very well needed for Pakistan.
Well, it's an angle that he's persisted with around the wickets to the left-handers. And a dismissal, a mode of dismissal that we saw quite often in Lahore in the T20s, a played on. We saw some great scenes from Quinton de Kock in this innings thus far, but unfortunately sees the back of him by that man, Naseem Shah. Well played, 63, South Africa. 141 for 2.
One-day international skipper Matthew Gretzky makes his way out. Enjoys this format according to himself. Still fresh into the ODI career. But he does have a certain love affair with this country in terms of venues. Scored 150 on international ODI debut in Lahore in the Champions Trophy versus New Zealand. Highest ever. Beg your pardon, it was a tri-series just prior to the Champions Trophy. Both teams, new captains. Shaheen Shah Afridi with the ODI captaincy, Matthew Gretzky. Similar responsibility on his shoulders, but at the moment work cut out, the platform set.
Just trying to use the pace. I mean, it's a shot that he's become well known for, the ability to just nudge it down to third man, but the angle of the bat, unfortunately, doesn't help with the angle of Nasim Shah coming back into him. Just finds the inside edge and disappointment. He was well set, and we know he has the ability to score big hundreds. He'll certainly be disappointed with that opportunity. Coming back into international cricket. Oh, shouts all around. The appeal from Nasim Shah. No reviews needed, and that's halfway mark of 25, 142 for 2.
For 2 in 25 overs. Quinton de Kock with 63. Fell in that previous over to Nasim Shah, chopped it back onto his stumps. Andre Pretorius, Port Nawaz bowling of Siam Ayub, 57. Tony Dizorzi timing the ball well, joined by his captain. Yet to get off the mark. Is fantastic, really clocking up the decibels here, because Babar Azam is fielding at long on just in front of them. Amazing how an individual can have so much of fan following. There's only a few fall in that category in world sport. Every time he walks by, they go up.
Reminds me of you on the golf course, Suruj. Such a great following whenever we were playing in Pakistan. So many fans. Powered away by Tony Dizorzi, and recognizes the back of a length and gets into a great position. Doesn't look to go the aerial route, but just firmly put on the ground and powers it to the boundary.
And not the best of deliveries either from Siam Ayub. Drops it short. Tony Dizorzi very quick onto the back foot. Gone! The slow delivery, the chip back to the bowler. Siam has 2. South Africa 3 down.
Well, we spoke briefly about the opportunity to bowl straight to line. It brings 3 dismissals into play. And that leading edge, particularly with the ball turning away, sees the back of Tony Dizorzi. And Sam Ayub, well, he's elated. And the 3rd wicket goes begging for South Africa. It's 147.
boy for South Africa, Sinethemba Kashile, making his international ODI debut. Plenty of experience at the List A career. JP Dumini, with another pronunciation of his name.
Kashile. Yeah, I had the opportunity to play with him for South Africa in T20 cricket. He's a great talent. Keeper batter. Oh, what a great opportunity for him, particularly in the subcontinent. Crowds are on their feet here supporting Pakistan.
And he's out there to face Saim Ayub, who's picked up 2. Touch slower. Tony Dizorzi just chips it back. Simple take to Saim. Got the crowd involved as well. Tony Dizorzi was going at a fair clip, 18 of 20. Turn. Past the edge of Gretzky's bat. 26 down, 148 for 3.
Yeah, it's a part of the game. It's really going to be a test for these two batters for South Africa. One on debut, another one debutant as captain. And a prime position to be able to put in a captain's knock. Back-to-back wickets. 3 down now, but a healthy score thus far. But as predicted, we're seeing a little bit of purchase on the surface. Nasim Shah, who saw the back of Quinton de Kock in the previous over, he continues. It's been a pretty decent spell second time around.
We'll continue with the slip in place. The pitch just starting to do a little more in terms of turn. The carom ball from Saim Ayub's over, the last ball of the previous delivery of a great length just outside the off stump of Matthew Gretzky. Even of the seamers with the angle. Nasim Shah picked up Quinton de Kock from around the wicket, ball just jagged back in slightly. Even the first delivery here, just off the seam, comes back into the right-hander. Call, great run. Another Tapal tea moment. Fans of cricket enjoying Pakistan's finest brand in the Tapal tea lounge. Important for Pakistan now to build on this. 141 for 2, 147 for 3, beg your pardon. They just want to build up a partnership of good overs, string together a few good dot deliveries and put the pressure back onto South Africa. Hold the game in this middle phase. But JP, shots like those sound at the bat every now and then. The surface still a very good surface. Brings up the 150 for South Africa.
Yeah, particularly with the seam-up deliveries, it's the ability to play well off the back foot. The elusive sound. Depends which side of the the coin you are, South Africa, they'll be happy. An opportunity to release the arms. Clearly over the line. Some sharp. The skipper, Matthew Breetzke, will face the free hit.
Mid off, and mid on up in the ring. Protection square either side. Great delivery. Change of pace, not providing Breetzke any room to swing through the line of the ball.
Yeah, it's always a difficult one when you haven't really faced many deliveries on a surface such as this one, where it sits in the wicket a touch. Generally, when you see the ball short, you're anticipating that the ball is going to come quite quickly at you. You're having to stop your shot and adjust. Well disguised by Nasim Shah. Change of field. Slip comes out into mid-wicket.
Pakistan will be wary of the fact that of late they haven't bowled their overs in time, whether it's T20 internationals or ODI cricket, and you can just pick up the chatter on stump mic that they're behind on time. Four spinners and the two seamers, so they ought to be getting this in time. That's why from behind the stumps, Mohammad Rizwan asking the boys just to get a go on. Get the overs in quickly. Straight to the fielder for 1. 27 done. 153 for 3. 53, 48 and 58 deliveries respectively for South Africa to bring up a sequence of runs. Saim Ayub to bowl his 8th over. Now this is good. Slip remains. Protection straight down the ground. The two men catching just in front of the bat. Extra cover and mid-wicket very close in. One ball that did turn off Saim Ayub. Last ball a couple of overs ago. Track your back to the Asia Cup. He bowled two absolute peaches to get rid of Shubman Gill and Jatinder Singh off that carom ball. Change of field as well now. Shah Afridi had just come in from mid-wicket onto that position. I go back a couple of overs ago again. The control with which he bowls the carom ball and the amount of revs he can get on the ball and extract some extravagant turn. Rolls his finger over, release from in front of the hand. This field he'll keep bowling those, maybe just draw Matthew Breetzke outside. Brings in those two men catching on the offside, the slip comes into play. I would like the line of the ball to start from within the stumps. So if the one that does remain straight, you bring LBW into play as well.
Nicely played by Breetzke. Feature of Breetzke's spin play is generally how he utilizes his feet, particularly playing off the back foot. And I think this is where it's really going to test Saim Ayub. the length of that delivery that we just had a look at was perfect. That in-between length where he's not sure whether to commit on the front foot or play off the back foot. That's the length that he doesn't want. Just a free shot really for any batter, because it's responding off the surface quite slow. So you have the opportunity really to get into positions quite easily. The encouraging part for Pakistan is that there is purchase. Pace so important, line so important, even more so the length of that straight delivery.
Touch slow with a little bit of turn. 28 overs done, South Africa 157 for 3.
Five 7 for 3 after 28. South Africa, after an excellent start, Pakistan just crawling their way back into this contest. Last 5 overs, 2 for 18. Well, it is the battle of the two young captains. I suppose it's a learning curve for both Saeed Afridi as well as Matthew Breedska. What did he make of his captaincy so far, Amir Sel?
Yeah, he handled the situation quite well, Shaheen Shah Afridi. Run appropriate changes, rotated the bowlers in a nicer way, and this is a very important phase of the game. Whoever make their mark in this passage, they'll have the say in this game. South Africa, no doubt, in a very good position with 158 for 3 on the board. And if they go on to score about 70 runs in this phase from 29 till the 40th over, now Pakistan will have to think a lot.
Yes, coming around the wicket, great at angle to get the ball back into the stump, Saeed Afridi. Perhaps a phase of the game that they've identified, they need to pick up more wickets. There's no use allowing batters to get in. No matter who bowls at the back end of the game, once a batter is in, they can launch out the ground. But this is the part of the game where you can really inflict chains and have an impact as a bowler. It's good to see him bring himself back.
Yeah, that is the main reason. He knows the importance of a wicket here. That will give them the control.
Yes, this is that angle. Here's a right-hand batter you're so used to with the left arm operating from over the wicket. He creates an angle where he can cut. This occasion, the one nipping back, so there's no room to cut and free the hands.
Yeah, so far, Sheila had his problems. He hasn't middled the ball consistently. And definitely, he has to adjust his approach here.
Yeah, it's a short one, but this time around he got a healthy piece of willow on that and dissected two fielders out in the deep for a boundary. Kasile brings up his first boundary.
Your first boundary after 20 balls. And that tells you that how well the Pakistani bowlers have bowled in this phase. But here was a delivery which Kasile was looking desperately for. A long hop, and he was able to capitalize on that.
Yeah, that's a much better length from Saeed Afridi. I don't think you want to be bowling too short, because if you're being scored square off the surface, you're erring on the wrong side of the surface here this evening.
Yeah, when you talk about Shaheen Shah Afridi's strength as a bowler, it's by pitching the ball up. Whenever he tries to bowl back of the length, he struggles. So he might as well stick with his stronger point of the game.
minutes then of the Afridi over. South Africa 164 for 3. A couple of towers in its first 20 overs. And that was due to Quinton de Kock and Lohan Pretorius giving themselves a wonderful start in the top of the order. And at the 4, you can see those towers are getting smaller and smaller, as we expect with this ball getting softer in this middle period.
Yeah, this move has a potential because Nawaz of late has been picking up important wickets for Pakistan. Yes, he struggled with his 3 overs because the left-handers were there. But now, both the batters back with right hand. So he should bowl with a big heart, Mohammad Nawaz. And we saw the wicket responding to him as well.
Yeah, I just get a feeling from Nawaz's point of view, perhaps trying a little bit too much. We have seen a bit of purchase. The ball starting to turn as it gets a little older, but consistency is going to be key in this phase of the game. As a batter, you want him to change up. How many balls can he land in one consistent area, asking the right questions? It's brilliantly bowled. It's the outside half of the bat, which you won't mind, Mohammad Nawaz.
Yeah, boundaries are hard to be found at the moment. The way Pakistani bowlers have bowled, yes, a boundary was hit after 20 deliveries in the previous over of Shaheen Shah Afridi. But this situation can work in Nawaz's favour if he gives more air to the ball. Try and buy a wicket here.
I love the fact that they've employed the slip as well. Just thinking a little bit positive from a Pakistan perspective. Which you do feel the only currency for them is to pick up wickets on a consistent basis. You do not want to allow another partnership to form, because once you get into that final 10 overs, it's all about momentum. And on which side of the coin you do find yourself back then.
Yeah, on a pitch like this, when a captain gives you a slip fielder, he's asking you to bowl off stump line. Maybe fuller on that particular line, and that will give a chance to the left armer to pick up a wicket if he bowls off stump or just outside off stump.
Yeah, I certainly feel you want to perhaps be a touch fuller, invite the drive, bring that outside edge into play. You've got to slip in position. And of course, he has the ability to slide one back as well. So you want to try and challenge both edges of the bat. Just a touch too short a previous delivery from Mohammad Nawaz. That's much better. That's where you want to settle in for the evening, Mohammad Nawaz.
And there was hint to turn for him as well. A bit of air, the line was good too. At the batsman in a spot of bother.
A touch too short, but missed out from Matthew Brieska. Well, Mohammad Nawaz, he'll be pleased with that return. 3 off, 167 for 3. South Africa, that's how they've been going in the innings so far. 97 dots, 57 ones, 9 twos. Surprisingly, no threes whatsoever. 15 boundaries with the 4 maximums. Certainly strikes you as that kind of ground, that kind of venue where you won't be seeing too many threes, because it's a touch on the smaller side. Small venue, quick outfield, so no surprise that we haven't seen any threes on that accumulation of runs by South Africa.
Very well dug out. by the right-hander. Sheila was a very well directed Yorker from left arm fast ball, angling in. It was off balance, but managed well. They're showing some confidence now. Sheila.
And there's one aspect of Saint Afridi's game that I really enjoyed working with him as well. He has the ability to bowl the Yorker. We had a chat in the last T20 game and I kept on asking him, you've got that potent Yorker, why not utilize it more often? Yes, bat is expected, but it's another thing facing it. Around the wicket again, it's been airborne, he's picked the gap, Kasile, and he's going to pick up a second boundary to his account this evening.
Yeah, talk about maneuvering the land. Talk about using the angle. Did it so well. Never looked to overhit the ball. Just used the pace and directed the ball into the gap to pick up his second boundary. It started to look good.
It's over, pitched again, and guess what? This time round he's dissected the fielders at mid-off and mid-on with a classical straight drive down the ground.
That is the peril. When as a fast bowler, you're looking to find that Yorker length. If you don't, and this could happen. Turn out to be a juicy half volley. And the batter, Chile, was ready for it.
Yeah, this is brilliant from the youngster. Back after 6 years in international cricket. This is an excellent start. 20 of 18 so far. Dragging the length back from Afridi. Well respected.
Yeah, once again we saw a bit of rhythm in the batting of these two. They've started to find boundaries. Now making Shaheen Shah Afridi think, not only as a bowler but also as a captain as well. This partnership, 28 of 32 deliveries.
And that's down the leg side and he'll have to re-bowl it again.
Hello.
Change of angle now for Saints Afridi, coming back over the wicket, the right hand at Kasili. Over pitched again, but means a dot ball. South Africa after 31, 176 for 3.
पाकिस्तान स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट टी अब 200 रुपए की बचत के साथ
बच्चा वो कह रहा है वो जो रजा भी है वो ना हो रहा वो सारी लड़कियों को झूला दे रहा है हमारी बारी में कहता नहीं 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 वो लड़कियों को वो भी झूला दे रहा थोड़ी देर भाई ज़रा इंतज़ार करो ये बंद हो गया अभी चल जाता थोड़ी देर तक बस
As both teams, you look at what's going to be a good score from the onwards. The platforms of Africa as a forward themselves, they must be thinking 280 plus. So South Africa does have a what do you make of that, Armin? The Pakistan Cricket Board is adding 2 more franchises, and the Faisalabad city has a chance to get the franchise, and if they do, then PSL is going to become the Faisalabad anyways. Oh, that's the long ball. I think he might have just gotten away with one here in Metro Breska. We talked about doubling the score to half the states, but you also have to factor in conditions. I don't think this is your traditional wickets where you can up the end towards the back end. I think the game is going to slow down a touch. And again, I will say you perhaps have to set your sights just a little bit lower than what we've come accustomed to in recent years. Yeah, I hear you, but at the same time, this pitch, the looks of this pitch, has belied the behavior, that's for sure. The anticipation was more of turn than this one.
जैसे अपने पापा की जानवर पूछा तो मेरे को नहीं आई
I think South Africa does have a chance to reach to 300 maybe. You certainly feel before that all-important drinks break for teams to reset again. Let's revisit their strategies moving into the last half of this innings. Let's get back to the single.
तो पैर अंदर
Mohamed Nawaz has gone 3 and 3 lost overs. South Africa 179. Let's revisit their strategies moving into the last half of this innings. Let's get picking up a single. Well, Mohamed Nawaz has gone 3 and 3 in the last 2 overs. South Africa 179 for 3. And with that, the players will enjoy a cold refreshment.
सबसे पहले हमने सफर का आगाज किया। सफर था कार खैर का। अब एक बार फिर रहा है वही तजर्बा और वही एतबार जिससे होगी आपके दस्तरखान की लाजवाब। हम रेसिपी मिक्सेस, द टेस्ट ऑफ हेरिटेज।
lost 3 wickets so far in this innings. But the first to have fallen was Luandri Pretorius with the score on 98. Played a little cut shot with a wonderful catch by Mohammad Nawaz, and then they've lost 2 quick wickets in quick succession.
And how many times you have seen the clock getting out in a similar fashion? And it was not Pakistan's frontline spinner who did the damage. It was Saim Ayub once again reacting to the captain's call.
Yeah, he certainly has been the pick of the bowler, Saim Ayub. You certainly feel that perhaps adjusted to the pace of the surface much better than all the others. Nasim Shah, brilliant in terms of seam up front. Wonderful control, 1 for 25. But you get a feeling that this is going to be the area heading into the last quarter of this game where they will be tested in that bowling department.
And captain of Pakistan cricket in Shaheen Shah Afridi realizes the delicate situation of this game, and hence going with his premier spinner in Abrar is looking for a wicket here.
Yeah, Pakistan in the last 12 overs, they've been going at 4.5 to the over. So that's wonderful in terms of control. And that's exactly what you want from here onwards. You can curb South Africa to that sort of run rate. That will up the pressure because they'll have to up the ante to score. Well, Ahmed is into the attack. He starts with a dot.
Yeah, he's been there for 22 deliveries, captain of South Africa, Rizke. But no momentum has been witnessed in his batting. This time around, goes aerial, does a distance. That'll be a pressure releaser for the captain.
Yeah, and he has the ability to clear the field. Metro Briatska has just been strangled with some consistent bowling. With a bit of flight, the invite was sent, and he says, I'll have a bit of that. But what has been impressive about that shot is the area which he to hit it. Downtown, that's your safest bet at this ground.
Yeah, he wasn't bothered whether it was a googly or a leg spinner, went with that stroke because the room was there.
Yeah, that's often so important, especially when you're being bogged down, that you know your zone where you look for that boundary. Absolutely no hesitation whatsoever that he's going to go downtown. Yeah, clarity in mindset.
Yeah, he was fully committed to that stroke.
Oh, it's airborne. Was that a chance? By the player's reaction, I certainly do feel it was.
It wasn't on the stronger side of Abrar. He bowls with the right arm. It was toward the left side, but at this standard, should have been taken.
Yeah, the best spinners in the world will tell you have to become the best fielders of your own bowling. This must, as it went quite sharply, I certainly feel there was enough time for him to get across to that. Last ball, it was short, it's pulled, and it's going to pick up another boundary, Metro Briatska. That's the end of the over, 12 off, 191 for 3.
At any level, if you bowl such a delivery, you will be punished. Too short, friendly pace.
South Africa is after the one tower, 12. But we get the feeling from time to time, Pakistan just goes searching. Go away from what's been working for them. Oh, that's airborne and easiest of catches at backward point. Fakhar Zaman into the action.
That was expected of Mohammad Nawaz. He was getting the ball to grip. A lot of turn on that occasion. Since he backed away too much from the leg stump, wasn't in control. But Fakhar was. An easy take for him, and he's amongst the wickets. Mohammad Nawaz, the left armer. Good contribution from Kashile. 22, it's 191 for 4.
Brings to the crease the South African T20 captain, Jonathan Ferreira. Just look at that strike rate. But this evening, the quest is to form another partnership with the captain, ODI captain Matthew Breetzke, who's on 21, because there's still plenty of time left in his innings.
Captain of the T20 format. Got about 17 overs to make his mark.
And we've seen this from time to time this evening. The ball just sits on the surface, but that has turned tremendously. Like you say, the body momentum of Kasili going too far leg side. In the end, only managed to find backward points. It's good to see that field who concluded that dismissal. Fakhar Zaman back into the mix for Pakistan. I'm a massive fan, perhaps one of my players that should be playing in your T20 side.
Yeah, he's proved himself time and time again. He can be really explosive. But he's been off the boil. Chance. Enough time for Ferreira to get back.
Fortunately for him, Breetzke gave him the early no. You see, he set off immediately, but it was an immediate no, which allowed him some time to get back. And the last thing South Africa want right now is a run out, because they've worked so hard to get themselves into this position. You can just get the sense that there's a bit of nerves from Donovan Ferreira. Just give yourself a bit of time. There's plenty of time left. Oh, that is brilliant. Excellent piece of bowling by Mohammad Nawaz.
Excellent line, excellent length. And the batter had no clue.
I think also something to take recognition of is Donovan Ferreira. This is his first list A match since October 23. So no wonder the jitters. Final ball of the Mohammad Nawaz over. And it's a dot. 193 for 4. Brilliant contributions from the two at the top. 57 from Pretorius, the Cox 63. Good to see him back in the runs for South Africa. And a couple of starts. One start. Brietska 22 at the moment. They would love him to kick on. Be the anchor for a couple of partnerships to form later on in the innings. 16 overs remaining. What can they get in that remaining 16 overs, South Africa?
It all depends how the Pakistani are going to ball in this passage of the play. Another wicket here will definitely have them ahead in this game.
Oh, short, it was picked up and it was deposited for a maximum. Yeah, sharp foot movement from the captain Brietska.
Yeah, he was presented with similar kind of a delivery in the previous over, but this time around the result was even bigger. A 6 went all the way. At this standard, you cannot afford to bowl such deliveries. You will be penalized and punished.
Just to my point about it having an extra field up in the ring. This is wonderful cricket awareness from Metro Brietska. Yes, it was short, and again, no hesitation. And he has the power, the ability to clear the fence.
Better lines and lengths from Abra after getting hit for a 6.
It's really an art to be batting in this middle period as well, especially when conditions are a touch on the slow side, but really enjoy the confidence in Metro Brietska, the intensity, the energy, looking to put the ball under pressure. In the 35, it's 199 for 4.
Expected more from Abrar. He hasn't picked up a wicket, and at the same time he's been expensive, going at the rate of 7 per over. The conditions are favorable for the spinners. It needed a big effort from them, but all eyes on Mohammad Nawaz. Broke the partnership in the previous over.
And it's so important that you understand the work that Mohammad Nawaz has done here. Your job from the other side is just to keep it tight. Don't keep trying to be the hero on the night as well and disappear for a couple of boundaries. That just released the momentum. He's been brilliant in his comeback spell so far. In the field, that's what bowlers appreciate. The clean striker of the cricket ball is Donovan Ferreira, but this is a completely different ball game out here. It's a touch game that comes to mind, the ability to work the ball into gaps for 1s and 2s, to set yourself up to be able to launch it a bit later on. Does he have the patience? That's the big question mark for South Africa.
When you see a batsman committing himself on the front foot, even the ball is being released, it tells you he's feeling the pressure.
And he'll definitely feel the pressure now. 7 consecutive dot balls from Mohammad Nawaz. Like we all say and anticipate, something's about to give.
200 on the board. Big Hotel selfie moment. Don't they love it? Taking those selfies. Sharing it with friends. And that too with Big Hotel Mobile.
Amir Bhai, what's your selfie game like?
I don't have the face for that. And I actually do not know how to pout.
Thought you was going to revert something to about your era. Well played and well left. It's a single down the ground. And the end of 36, South Africa 202 for 4.
सबसे पहले हमने सफर का आगाज किया। सफर था कार खैर का। अब एक बार फिर रंग रहे हैं वही तजर्बा और वही एतबार जिससे होगी आपके दस्तरखान की रौनक। लाजवाब हमदर्द रेसिपी मिक्सेस, द टेस्ट ऑफ हेरिटेज।
Another partnership brewing, 11 of 17. Fantastic opening stand, that of 98, followed by two mid-40s. Now the T20 skipper of the previous series joins the ODI skipper in the middle. Pakistan just putting this back. Good overs in between, but every now and then there have been boundary deliveries that have been dished up, which is why the scoring rate is kept at 5.5. Up in the air, catch it is the call. Fielder should take this, and he does. Babar Azam under the ball, safe as houses. Abrar picks up his first for tonight.
Yeah, smiles all around Pakistan. They understand the impact of the situation of the game. 14 overs left. And the powerhouse of Ferreira. We saw a few dot balls, felt the pressure, and looks for the big one. And straight to Babar Azam, who does the rest. Elation, yes please. He's caught one. Ferreira, he goes for 3. South Africa, 202 for 5.
The side now out for South Africa, 202 on the board, and in to the middle walks George Linder. Plenty of experience on the world circuit in franchise cricket. His fourth game in the ODI format. Can certainly hit the long ball. About 13.4 overs left in the first innings. He will hope to put together a partnership with his skipper along the other side, who's going well at 29. And it was courtesy a string of dot deliveries. 12 out of the last 16 deliveries when Gretzky and Ferreira were batting.
Often have we seen this in subcontinent, a string of dot balls, and all of a sudden you see a big shot being played, trying to release the pressure on debut on Ferreira. spoke about the fact that there is a little bit of hold in the surface. Gets it above the eyes, entices him to play the big shot. Unfortunately, the execution belongs to the bowler.
At one point, South Africa were looking at 300, maybe even north. Now, given the projected score, 276 with 5.5 runs and over. And George Linder and Matthew Bretsky both can play and hit the long ball and can get stuck in as well. But the surface now, with the amount of turn, with just a slight amount of hold, like you mentioned, JP, every now and then we've seen when they've tried to hit it with a vertical bat face, ball just holds. 204 for 5. Overs, 204 for 5, South Africa. Matthew Bretsky, 30 of 35, and spin in tandem will continue. Mohammad Nawaz now back in operation with the slip. Picks up 1 to long on. In Rex. We'll come to you shortly. Slight amount of field change for the left-hander. Point falls back straight in line with the umpire onto the boundary. Long off comes up to mid off. George Linder can hit the ball straight as well. Does he take mid off on? Mohammad Nawaz opting to bowl wide outside the off stump. Once again, good from Pakistan. After the wicket, it's been just 3-dot deliveries. Previous over as well. Very good. Last 30 balls, just 18 runs, 2 important wickets. No boundary since the last 20 deliveries now.
Yeah, and it's the field positioning as well for the left-hander. Square leg in place instead of your short, fine leg. That encourages the fact that you have to try and play straight as opposed to just turning it around the corner. And often that can lead to a thickies. Let me try that again, Uruj. Thickish leading edge. That's the end of 205 for 5. Take the glasses out.
38 overs. 2 overs left in the second power play. 205 for 5. South Africa. Wash, 14. Ngidi to follow. The 2 men in the middle for South Africa, extremely important if they are to get what the projected score at the moment has on board, 269. George Linder still very fresh to the crease. Matthew Bretsky is playing a good hand, but he'll want to continue. Naseem Shah back into the attack. Good run, comfortable in the end. We said we'll come back to it, and we have Inrex EV, Pakistan's smartest hatchback. It is the Inrex Zeo. Charge fast and drive smart. Few field changes. Now for the left-hander George Linder, long on the boundary, mid-off up in the ring. Section square. Fine up in the ring as well. Curves it down to third for 1.
Well, Uruj, we certainly have the opportunity to play with our heroes sometimes and spend time with our heroes. I had the opportunity to enjoy some time with my heroes when we saw the picture of Leandro Pretorius meeting Quinton de Kock a few years ago, and now the opportunity on the world stage to play alongside him and learn from the best.
Beauty of the sport. – 19-year-old Leandro Pretorius now playing alongside Quinton de Kock. 98-run stand as well. Imagine an opportunity, his hero who had retired from the format. Why I'm chuckling away is because the director has certain things to say, not for the world to hear. He claims he's the hero to far few many cameramen, crew members around. Fans of the PSL all around as well. Great change up. Extremely so slow, that previous delivery. There's a one delivery that has actually worked when it's been in line with the stumps, more importantly, almost a spongy tennis ball bounce. Oh, that's us. Tomorrow, what he is practicing is a game on for golf tomorrow. Myself, Vern, JP, and we're looking for a fourth, so if anybody's available. The last time story was Mr. JP didn't show up. He kept sleeping. Bowled him! Straight through, middle stump uprooted. South African skipper has to go. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Asif Yaqub sticks his right hand out to signal a no ball. Naseem Shah, not the first time, has overstepped. Now, what a costly overstep this might be.
Yeah, the skipper, Rietska, gets a lifeline. An important one in the situation of the game, looking to go cross back, just squats on him a touch. It's the top of middle stump. It gets the beautiful words, you have to come back, sir. Take a no ball, and second one to Brietska as well, so he'll get a second bite at the cherry.
Went through two extremes of emotion in a flash of a second, Naseem Shah. dreaded news, that of the no ball. The first no ball, the free hit delivery was a slow bouncer into the surface. Similar the second time round, Gretzky does get bat onto that. Now what an opportunity for Matthew Gretzky. It's time for him to get really stuck in with the surface, just starting to play a few more tricks, getting a little bit difficult to score. Want to stay out there till the very end.
Yeah, how costly for Pakistan is that going to be? Think about the phase of the game, just 11.1 overs left. I feel 6 down just has a nice ring to it from a Pakistan point of view. And that's the edge. That sees the back of George Linder. Has a quick glance to the umpire. An elation for Pakistan.
Well, he does get a W in the column, but that is of George Linder. Pace on delivery, the angle around the off stump, and a faint tickle to Mohammad Rizwan, who obliges. George Linder looks back in disgust. Naseem Shah can have the last dance. 7 overs, he's picked up 2 so far. Linder goes for 2, South Africa 209 for 6. For 6, and out walks Corbin Bosch. 96 the strike rate, his 8th game tonight, a high score of 40, and he would love all of those 40 runs to come together this evening. 11 overs left. Nawaz to bowl his 9th. Protection down the ground as well.
Yeah, persisting with around the wicket angle is Naseem Shah, encouraging George Linder to look square, but unfortunately execution limited, and just finds a feather that sees it through to Rizwan.
Off the mark, Corbin Bosch with a single to the offside. It is a figure-free moment in the crowd, and you can get yours as well. You can download the app and get the insurance you need on your fingertips. South Africa will need the insurance of numbers on the board. 211 for 6. Last 45 deliveries, 32 runs with the 3 wickets. They've fallen in clusters. 141 for 247 for 3, 202 for 5, 209 for 6. Most of the times one has followed two.
Yeah, what's really been impressive, particularly from a spin perspective, is the line that they've adjusted to. We spoke particularly in that 20 to 25 over period where it was certainly a little bit wider outside the off stump, bringing an extra man on the offside, but certainly brought more dismissals into play. Yeah, that's the line, asking the right questions. And the length, most important. Just allowing the batter, not sure whether to get on that front or back foot. Rietske, the man in your picture, has really played well off the back foot, the ability to move his feet well, adjust, playing square. And they've adjusted well as Mohammad Nawaz.